Greetings to you, young Mr. Z. Since I really don't know you very well, much of my speaking with you in these presentations will be guesswork. If my guesses are incorrect, I have no problem with you ignoring. But let us see. The title of today's video is Attractive Poisons. It is true our dog and cat friends are tremendously attracted to puddles of deadly antifreeze. As little as 5 tablespoons of commercial antifreeze will kill a medium-sized dog. A cat can die from walking through a puddle of the toxic liquid and then licking it off their paws. The active ingredient is ethylene glycol that seems to be almost addictive to our animal friends. When something so deadly can become attractive is what has happened to you concerning alcohol at this moment in time. This substance cannot be an option for you right now, it appears. It happens to many people and the reasons can be complicated. Alcohol and other drugs start out being helpful, fun servants to your well-being as long as you can control when, where, how much, and how often you use the stuff. When you lose control, and your body's cells screams for alcohol or drugs to change your unsettled reality, these substances can switch and become wicked, potentially extremely dangerous masters rather than servants. A proper question to ask is, why should I listen to you, Mr. Know-It-All? Well, the answer is simple. I would suggest, and most people would agree, that if you want to become a good cook, hook up with, watch and listen to an overweight chef. He or she obviously possesses vast knowledge concerning food. I know the damn drug and alcohol world in too much detail, as I have witnessed multiple people I have been close to ruin their lives with fucking alcohol and hard drug use. I have struggled with the stuff myself and other addictions until I learned how to deal with the actual reason I felt a need for repeating activities, and substances that helped me become distracted to my unsettled inner world. Yes, I am an old hippie, but I was also a successful, professional teacher for a quarter century and a mental health counselor for souls dealing with paranoid schizophrenia. Alcohol abuse is common in my family's background. In short, the reason to listen to me is perhaps you can save some time by my attempts to teach you what I have learned. Here are some common tricks I have seen and heard used when people try to quit alcohol and drug abuse.
Oh, I will just cut back. I have been having a tough time lately and merely need to watch my drinking a bit more closely.
Actually, I can quit any time I want. After all, I'm not like my friend George who gets hammered all the time. If I get as bad as him, I will do something about it then.
Okay, I'll do the treatment deal if it will get people off my back. Don't know why everyone gets so concerned when I have a drink or do drugs now and then.
So, I'm not Mr. Perfect. Why don't we discuss your problems instead of mine all the time?
If you had to deal with all the asswipes around me, you drink and snort coke, too.
Is it any wonder I party around with how screwed up this entire world is these days?
People can come up with all types of excuses to defend the very thing that is causing them such turmoil and trouble. It is part of the bizarre, bedazzling deal of being attracted to the poison that will eventually end one up in either jail, the hospital, or morgue.
I actually used some of those type of things myself. I decided to get some help as I grew sick of feeling depressed and embarrassed so often by events and behaviors dealing with getting drunk. Mr. Z, I got divorced and it sent me for a loop. I had done drugs and drank as recreation for years with no real trouble. Drinking was not even one of my favorite intoxicating routines. I was always more of a pothead because I enjoyed the high more and never got into trouble high on weed. When I suddenly found myself alone, I started heading out to the bars to fight off loneliness. I rarely drank alone at home and did not have alcohol in the fridge. I was known in the alcohol world as a binge alcoholic, because I might go weeks or months without drinking at all. But boom, I would finally get horny and out I would go to try and find some loving. Of course, that included dancing, drinking, and staying out late. Alcohol is a damn depressant and not good for those who are already depressed or anxious at how their life is unfolding. So, I did the outpatient treatment and it worked for me for quite some time. Mr. Z, my counselor, made me the greatest visual ever one evening at our meeting. He said, "Here, Bob, let me make a drink for you." He pulled out a big cup and started filling it with all kinds of odd things. Hot sauce, mustard, horseradish, vinegar, pieces of fruit, a handful of chips, and a slab of moldy something. He stirred it around and said, "Drink up." The look of the glass of mess made me gag. He smiled and said, "That is what alcohol is to you. It is a poison to you, Bob, and might be always. Mr. Z, alcohol is an attractive poison for you and is also one to my own boy. It is not a friend, but a nasty enemy who will steal your inner peace. Your brain need to repair itself, which it will. Give it a break from the poison. Now, you might have a brain disease that will make it so you can never use it without harm. You need to see it for what it is, a dangerous substance that does not work for you. No shame, as we drinkers do not understand that most people never fool with the stuff. I sent you my Ferris wheel analogy, a positive ride, but there is a negative ride, the merry-go-round, that unsettled strugglers find hard to get off. Treatment works to get you off the continual repeating circle of riding around with the attractive poisons. You aren't alone in having to get some help. May you pick pleasant roads to travel and start embracing the beauty of being alive. I am going to keep sending you these videos and will refer to you as Mr. Z to keep things private. If they help at all, great. I love your mom and dad who helped me raise my son. I owe them big time for that. I am honored to be able to share with you my young boss. Keep the faith in yourself and move to being content. Later.